In this episode, as we wrap up 2022, we share what we've learned this year about our business and ourselves.
It's been quite the journey, and we hope it inspires you to remember that you are full of potential and that anything is possible. Wishing you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Here's to your health and happiness. Hi, I'm James Davis.
And I'm Claire Davis.
We're the Midlife Mentors, here to lift the lid on how to achieve health and happiness.
The balanced, no-nonsense way.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Midlife Mentors with me, James.
And me, Claire. I will start it again one day.
I think this might actually be the final one of 2023.
It is. It
Because
feels...
we'll definitely miss a week next week, won't we?
Yeah, it feels quite emotional, to be quite honest with you. We've just had a really beautiful ending to our 21-day Vision and Vitality course that we ran with, I think, 23 people came on it in the end. And we did our last call last night, and it was just so incredibly humbling and beautiful that all these people have come into our world and have got so much out of the program. And some of what they said just really blew us away. And, you know, part of what we're going to talk about today actually is a bit of a review of our year and kind of the top things that we've learned actually as people, but also in our business. But also to get you to, at the same time, really consider how far you have come this year. Because all too often we focus on the things that we haven't achieved and the things that we don't have, but it's always a really good time to reflect. At this time of year, we also have winter solstice.
Yeah, so we've had, what inspired us actually was winter solstice. So Claire and I always celebrate that as the turning point of our year, like it's solar new year. We went and watched the sun set. And then we watched the sun rise, so that was really beautiful, kind of ushering in a new solar year. And for us, it's the time when we actually do review our year and our successes and our learnings and set our intentions and our goals for the year ahead. The reason is it just feels better to do it in rhythm with nature, but also it means, you know, before January the 1st rolls around, we're already up and running with our 2023 goals.
But I think this is quite an emotional one because we had that last night and we've just been reflecting, and we're going to share that with you. We've just been reflecting actually on the top 3 things that we would say that we have learned from 2022. And just kind of super, super grateful. I think for so many, you know, we had a really difficult... we've had quite a difficult time actually with the business, you know, the ups and downs of entrepreneurship, here, there and everywhere, you know, but especially when 2020 hit and obviously our main business, which was our retreats, no one could travel. So it was looking like our best year ever. And to actually reflect where we are right now and to have so much gratitude in our hearts for that, for where we managed to pivot is just, you know, very, very humbling, very humbling. So that call last night was just absolutely lovely. And it kind of rounded off the end of the year just perfectly.
It certainly did. So 3 things that we have learned this year, or I guess 3 of our successes actually.
Yeah, I'd say the things we've really learned, you know.
We've really learned. One is, you know, investment pays off. We call it paying the ignorance tax, right?
I love that phrase.
From A to B, but we don't know the way to get there. It's like, do you want to take the long way around figuring it out yourself, or do you want to pay the tax just to get there fast by finding someone that knows how to do it? And we've really leveled up in terms of that this year, and it is accelerating our progress. So that's amazing. And I guess the lesson for you listeners is like, where have you been doing it? Where have you been trying to do it on your own, where actually you could just, you know, pay the inverted commas tax and get there a lot faster? Because here's the thing: time is our only finite resource, right? Money replenishes, but time does not. So you spend 2 years, and it's true. I was reviewing like conversations in Messenger with people, and trying to checking them out. And yeah, obviously I'm not going to name names, but it's kind of like, you know, you've spoken to them 3 or 4 times over 2 years, and you can see that they're still in the same position, and that they so desperately want to change, but they hold themselves back from making that commitment to do it. And that's 2 years gone by when they could be living their best life.
Well, I say, you know, we either pay now or we pay later.
Oh, I like
and
that, yeah.
You know, we pay now or we pay later, and you're basically playing Russian roulette with time. You know, it's not something we can guarantee. It's not something we have any control over. And at some point we will have to pay for our inaction, because that time is dwindling away, you know? So I think it's really, really important to get a bit of clarity on that. And sometimes people don't want to hear that. It's too much of a sobering thing to hear, but it is the truth. And James and I are never, if you know anything about us, we are not ones to shy away from the truth. And the reason we're sharing this stuff is not to say, oh, you know, look at where we're at, look at what we've learned. It's actually to share vulnerably as well, like where we haven't leveled up in the past and where we're starting to do that now. And I think in sharing our stories, you know, that's what makes a human race so beautiful, is we are able to share our stories, and through our stories we are able to inspire others. So that's what we're trying to do here with this podcast.
So that was learning one. Learning two was, it's great to work on your goals and invest in your goals, but it's so important to also work on and invest in your self growth. And obviously there can be overlap there, right? But sometimes our goals will be external to ourselves. We might want to run a business, write a book, become an artist, whatever. But working on ourselves and our self-development, looking at inside us and figuring out how we can be better versions of ourselves, that pays dividends in all areas of your life.
Well,
and that's something that's really accelerated this year for us.
Totally. Like James and I have spent a lot of time, energy and money in healing, actually, those parts of ourselves that we believe are keeping us stuck. And again, it is not pretty. It's not comfortable. And actually to admit that these things are holding ourselves back, to even be aware of them, it's hard. And it's sometimes very uncomfortable, and it might be the same thing that's come up year after year. But, you know, I know it is for me. Certain things come up year after year after year, and I'm like, I'm never going to quit on trying to heal those. And I've come on such leaps and bounds by trying different things. The thing about James and I is, and that we would always encourage you to do, is just don't quit. There will be a way through anything. There is always a way through anything and everything. So actually, James and I wanted to do a lot more healing within ourselves, as well as investing in the business this year. So that's made us closer as a team. It's made us show up so much better for our clients. You know, we always say that investment point, you know, how can we expect people to invest in us if we don't invest in ourselves? And my goodness, we really put our money where our mouth is, and it makes us more able to deliver the most unique experience to you guys and anyone that joins any of our programs. So, and the final one is, you might hear a little bit of banging in the background. They're doing some building work. In Ibiza, you can only do building work in the winter, so we've had to put up with a little bit of banging and drilling. So hopefully you can't hear that in the background. But the final one is that, it sounds a really weird thing to say, but that actually pain does end up reaping rewards. So the effort and the pain and the consistency and the doing things you don't want to do actually in the end does reap massive, massive rewards. And I say that with such, actually when I said that to James before we jumped on, I got so incredibly emotional because, you know, we don't know everyone else's story, and some things aren't always meant to be shared. But I can tell you what, James and I have been through such a lot, not just professionally with the business, but personally as well. And we've been through a lot of pain, actually. And we've had to keep recovering from them, keep coming back and keep fighting and keep trying to get back on our feet again. And so for this year, 2022 is a year that both of us can look back. You can hear in my voice. You can look back at this time and think, my goodness, all of that is starting to pay dividends. All of that, it is true that you just need to keep going, that you just need to keep putting in the effort, that you need to keep showing up for yourself and for other people. And with that, it's not the cleverest person that wins the day. It's not the smartest person, the one with the most skills. It's the person that keeps getting up and keeps fighting for a vision that they have that's bigger than themselves. And our vision is bigger than ourselves. It is to literally help as many midlifers as possible to remember who they are and remember their potential. And so this year has been such a turning point, I would say, wouldn't you?
Such a turning point. It really feels like it. I think the last kind of quarter and a bit of the year has just felt like magical in a sense.
Yeah.
Which is why we're smiling as we watch the sun go down on the solstice and beaming now because we just can't wait to get up and well, we already are up and running for 2023, but I know it's just going to be an amazing year.
So like I would just like you, we would just like you to have a think, about how far you have come this year. Not necessarily what you haven't done and what you haven't achieved and what you haven't created, but what you have, the things that the person that you have become, the things that you have achieved, the things you've overcome. I would just want you to have a moment to really think about what those things are. And also, I'm going to ask you to ponder this question that I always like to ask clients and people in our world. And that question is what would you, so 2023, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? And that's the kind of mindset. Instead of the, oh my goodness, I'm terrified of making change, I'm terrified of failing. No. What if you didn't fail? What if you couldn't fail? What would you do then? And as always, we're here to champion every single one of you with so much love and respect. And we can't wait to share 2023 with you. We also really excitingly have a masterclass that we are running specifically for you guys, men and women in their 40s, 50s and beyond, busy professional people that are just sick and tired of not being able to shift those stubborn midlife pounds, that you want to reclaim your energy, and also that you want to live a life you love, that feels like you, that feels like your personal expansion of yourself, like living your best life. So we are running that masterclass to show you some of our tools, some of our strategies on how to really make those shifts, especially coming into 2023. So you can find that link inside the show notes. And if you can't, for some reason, just email James and I at team@themidlifementors.com. But it's totally free and it's going to be live. It's next Thursday. We don't run them as much as we used to. So please don't miss this opportunity to be on that call with us, to understand and learn our strategies and our knowledge and our expertise and our passion. And if you can't make the time, do also make sure you sign up because a recording will go out.
We'd love to see you there.
Yeah, it's going to be a real life-changing session, that one.
It is perfect as well, post-Christmas, pre-New Year, kind of like get back into the groove, get that mindset again, focused on where you want to go. Learn the strategies for dropping those pounds, for reigniting your energy, your zest, your passion for life.
Yes.
So yes,
Woo-hoo!
Can't wait for that. Really exciting thing to look forward to. I guess all it remains for us is to say thank you, listeners, for being with us through this year. Thank you so much. It means the world to us.
It does.
And to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And a Happy New Year. I had to do a little bit of terrible singing right at the end. Anyway, really hope to see you on that masterclass. And until next time, you take care. Lots of love.
Yeah. You've been listening to the Midlife Mentors with Claire and James Davis.
We'd love to hear from you. So drop us a line at info@themidlifementors.com with any questions or topic suggestions.
And make sure you join us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can find us under the Midlife Mentors. Yeah. What? Yeah.